What is up, fellow Bulls fans? Welcome to the Bulls on a Run podcast, coming at you with a new video. But before we get into the video, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell so that you can be in the loop for weekly Bulls content. In today's video, we're talking about my season predictions and hot takes for this up-and-coming season. Now, as we know, the Bulls played their last preseason game yesterday against the Milwaukee Bucks, and we finished 3-1 in the preseason, which is a very decent record. But of course, that's not the real competition that we will be going up against going into next season. That's not the actual. A lot of players, they rested. The Bulls actually did not play all of their players for the full game of all of those games. So they basically don't count. Those games that we had in the preseason, they basically don't count. But we did see some upside from the preseason that we can use going forward into the next season, like Javonte Green's improvement on the offensive end, like Drummond with his 3-ball, with Patrick Williams in the very last game, with him showing the things that he improved on and him being more aggressive with going to the paint. With Vucevic being more consistent with the 3-ball and also finishing in the basket, being that double-double machine that we knew him as when we traded for him. Demar still in mid-season form when it comes to him being that scorer, dropping over 20 in each game that we had in the preseason, except the final game that we had, which he did not play. But really the key thing for this season, going into next season, is this is probably the most competition that we have seen in the Eastern Conference in years. There's so many teams in the East that are better than they were last year. There's so many players that are going to be healthy going into next season, which changes the landscape of the Bulls when it comes to where they will end up in this season, how good they will play against those teams. There's many different components that comes to how this team will play out the next year, because there's so many teams like the Hawks making the trade for DeJounte Murray, like Donovan Mitchell being traded over to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So there's many caveats with the teams, also with Jalen Brunson coming over to the Knicks. So there's a bunch of different moves that took place this offseason, which allowed the Eastern Conference to be more competitive. So in order for the Bulls to still be a top team in the Eastern Conference, in order for them to be able to compete against those top teams like Milwaukee, Miami, Boston, Philadelphia, in order for us to compete against those teams, we were able to bet on continuity during the offseason. But we have to make sure that we have those contributions, not only from DeMar DeRozan, not only from Zach LaVine, but also from, with Lonzo being out, especially from the other players around the team. I believe that DeMar DeRozan will be still. I don't believe he will play at an MVP level like he played last season. I don't believe that he will be that good like he was last season, because he played with a chip on his shoulder. He basically had something to prove last year. I don't believe he will still be at that level as a player, but he still will be a consistent scorer. But the way that we've seen in the preseason how the Bulls' philosophy on offense have changed, it actually allows for more transition play and more ball movement and more player movement in the rotation, in the offensive strategy that we see from this team, which is very crucial in the Eastern Conference, because there's a lot of teams that have that same fluidity of the ball being moved. So we have to make sure that we are able to really stick hold to what Billy Donovan's philosophy is on offense, but not only on offense, but also on the defensive end. The one player that impacts us the most on the defensive end, of course, we know Lonzo is very impactful for this team, but Alex Caruso is the anchor on defense. Alex Caruso, he drives this team on the defensive end. He is the voice. He is the competitor. He gives this team that energy that we need, not only on offense but on defense. On offense, he doesn't score a lot of points for us, but he does a good job of getting disruptions, getting those steals, and pushing the pace for this team. We have to see more of that. We have to see Dalen Terry. We have to see Kobe White. We have to see those players come off the bench and give us more production.
There's Dalen Terry working on Marshall. Oh, that's Wildcat crime right there.
The Bulls
Bears, they need to turn
be
the quarterback loose, man.
I'll see him on Sunday.
They need to turn him loose, man.
The continuity that we have, and the fact that we have 3 of the top players in their respective positions on the team. That's my prediction. That's what I believe. I hope everyone have a good day. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good day. Peace.